Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Point Montana, and in this video, we are going to be going over man coverage abilities to make your man coverage a lot better than it might be already. Now, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below on anything that you guys might be struggling with. I will try to find something for you. So comment anything down below, or just comment FTA, because it's for the algorithm and it helps push these videos out to more and more people. So let's get right into it. We're going to be going over man coverage abilities and abilities that are going to where you should put these abilities depending on what you guys are running. There are a few ways to run man coverage. There's a few set ways, and there's a few different ways for people to kind of be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't have the word, but there are a few different ways to run man coverage, and the two different ways that you run man coverage is literally with a bunch of KO abilities: medium route KO, deep route KOs. And then there's another way that you guys can run man coverage, and that is with the safeties being substituted in with cornerbacks. And when this is the way that you run man coverage, your abilities are going to change a little bit. So just going to be going over exactly where we should have certain people. So we're not even going to be hopping into anything specific, because currently right now I have a zone coverage kind of defense where most of my guys are in zones. But if you guys were looking to run man coverage, we're simply just going to go and call nickel over. It's a very, very popular defense. And just in case we're going to call cornerbacks here, I'm going to put Carmichael and Lott here because they're two somewhat good cornerbacks slash safeties in the game. So we're just going to call over Storm Brave. And again, we're not going to call anything. We're just going to call random plays on offense, just so you guys can understand exactly where. Okay, and maybe I should get my other controller because the computer's going to hike it every single time. But so calling a random play here is going to make it so that we can kind of see. And I'm just going to keep moving my guy back a little bit just so we can go over this. So if you're running nothing but KOs, that is going to be your defense is going to end up working out very well, but you guys need to know where you guys should run your KOs and what kind of KOs you should run. So typically on every single person, if you are running the KO method, you're going to run nothing but medium route and deep route KOs. So it doesn't matter who you're choosing. This guy's going to have medium and deep route. This guy, and then this guy. Your other side safety or middle linebacker that you guys are choosing to run, that is dealer's choice. You guys can put whatever it is that you guys want on that specific person, but that is going to be what you guys are going to choose on your offense or defense. So now when it comes to running the opposite side, where you're putting safety cornerbacks at safety and stuff like that, there is a trick to making your man coverage a lot better. And the trick is to put inside shades on these outside guys here. 1, 2. And then if you want a little bit of extra, you put it on your slot cornerback here. And the reasoning for that, and I'll go over it in a second. The reasoning for that, and let me go ahead and take the swigglies off. The reasoning for that is typically because if you show the play art, the safeties are typically manned up inside people that are within the numbers. And that's exactly what we got, what we have here. We have the safeties and the slot cornerback. So if we base aligned here, these guys are all manned up to someone who is within those numbers. They are playing within the numbers, which allows those inside shades to react a lot better and a lot faster to some of the things that are being ran. So when you run a defense like this, you're going to end up putting inside shades on these guys, and I guarantee you your defense is going to end up playing a lot better, even with the short and elite and the route tech and all that kind of stuff. Inside shades just tend to work very well in this game, and when one step ahead becomes a thing, I guarantee you some players are going to end up rocking that if it's at a low ability cost. But that is going to be the way that your defense is going to be ran. You're going to put inside shade on this guy, inside shade on this guy, and then if you want, you can do the same thing with this guy, or you can just equip those route KOs. And then on your outside guys here, these guys are all going to have deep route KOs. So these two guys here are going to end up being like sort of like your last line of defense. But the reason why you put the deep route KO on these guys is because you don't have those short intermediate post routes and stuff like that. You have them either running streaks or running a deep post, You have them running C routes, which all rely on deep route KO to be the end all be all to knocking that ball out. So you're either gonna do that, and I personally like to use short route KO on these guys, because a lot of the times these guys are either put on streaks or they're put on short routes like drags or slants, and when that's the case, you're going to end up being able to pretty much knock the ball out. And it's sort of like a tricky thing, because they most of the time they expect your guys to sit there and pretty much not be able to guard anything that's underneath. And that's why some players, some higher level players as well, they end up putting those players on drags and streaks, just so they can help with clear out routes, even if they're in tight formations. And I'm going to let them call this play here so that they can hop into a different formation here. So even it doesn't even matter like what formation they're in. It's just typically those outside guys are end up manned up into people that are within the inside of the route here. And even if you guys are here and you guys choose to take this guy and man him up on him and put this guy in a deep blue out here, it's going to be the same exact thing. This guy's going to end up cutting inside in some way, and then that inside shade is also going to activate and work well within what it should be working with, and it's just going to help out with your man coverage 100%. So again, these two safeties are always going to be manned up on people that are inside, and that, again, this is all if you even want to pretty much utilize those that kind of AP on these specific players. But your slot cornerback, your two safeties are going to be two huge route stopping players. Now you can also make these guys a little bit OP by adding route KOs on them. So the last way that you guys could honestly run man coverage is by utilizing one AP on these guys, like a deep route KO, right? Just one deep route KO. And then on your safeties, you can put inside shade. On your safeties and your slot cornerback, you can put inside shades and some kind of KO ability. Forget the pick artist situation, because we're nearing the time and the point in Madden where abilities are going to be 0 AP all over the place, whether it be deep route KO, whether it be short route, medium route. We're going to have a lot of 0 AP to 1 AP abilities that you're going to be able to stack, and you guys are going to eventually be able to stack inside shade with some of these KOs. So inside shade plus medium route, or inside shade plus deep route. Those route KOs, especially paired up with inside shade, are going to go absolutely crazy for you guys that are struggling to run man coverage still. And I promise, this is going to be frustrating for your opponent, especially if you're running the 2-man under type of situation. So if you're coming out and you're running cover 2-man, or any kind of man coverage, let me just call a random play here, or any kind of man coverage, if your abilities are on these guys here, you're gonna take your safeties and bring them down here, bring those corners back up, and the guys that are manned up here, you're gonna take your user and you're going to make sure that they are manned up. So these two guys here are going to be your last line of defense, whether they're going to be in some kind of zone coverage. And typically for me, I'm going to sit there and put the opposite guy and make sure that this running back ends up being clamped. And you guys are going to be able to pretty much clamp up most of the people that you play running a defense like this, while your user is going to make sure that that running back doesn't have any short routes. And as you can see, even without having any type of route KOs, we're already there. So imagine if you had inside shade plus some kind of route KO, your defense is going to go absolutely crazy. This is how this should be at least your man coverage ability setup in Madden 23. Start dominating your opponent a little bit more, and yeah, get out there and go crazy with the man coverage. We've already done the zone coverage one, we've done the man coverage one, and then we will do a hybrid version, because I did drop a video on what potentially could be the best defense in the game. So check that out if you guys haven't already, and yeah, let me know if you guys are struggling with anything, and I'll try to find something for you. My name is Money Montana. I will see you guys in the next video, man. As always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.